As usual, I want to talk specifically to entrepreneurs. And I want to remind you that in my podcast, I try not to tell you this is what you should do. I try to say, this is what I did. And this is what I did. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Spinoso podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alex Spinoso. My experience and expertise is in scaling all types of medical businesses to 7, 8, and 9 figures, and I'm sharing my journey with you. This is not a podcast telling you you should do this. I'm just telling you how I did it, and I hope that helps you. I want you to build your business, take ownership of your life, and become a better leader at home and at work. And guys, as always, if you want to connect with me, dralexspinoso.com, especially if you are in the medical business. I have tons of free courses on there. Instagram, Dr. Alex Spinoso. Let's get into it today, guys. I want to revisit a topic that I seem to run into again and again and again when I'm talking to entrepreneurs, or really anyone who is nervous about paying a big price for something. And I mean that both literally and metaphorically. I run into entrepreneurs who are anxious about paying a lot of money for a piece of equipment, or are nervous about investing a lot of money in marketing or something that will actually grow their business. Or I meet someone who is severely out of shape and they are hesitant about paying for a personal trainer or weight loss treatments or whatever, insert whatever. Or maybe it's someone who really wants to pursue a particular career. Now, I don't think going to college is necessary for everyone, but for some careers, you are going to have to get formal training. You want to become a doctor, a lawyer, etc. I couldn't have become a doctor without a medical degree. And some people have their heart set on a career that requires a degree. And they are nervous and hesitant to pull the trigger because the degree program is expensive. I don't know what your situation is, but if you resonate with any of the examples I just shared, if you are one of those people who has a big dream or a big goal, but you are afraid to pay the price, either literally or metaphorically, you are afraid to spend the money, you are afraid to invest your time, energy, blood, sweat, tears, then let me ask you this. When in life can you experience something truly worthwhile and amazing and not pay a high price for it? You want to get into shape and stay in shape? Well, the high price you pay is time and effort in the gym, discipline in what you eat, and the sacrifice of activities that might feel good and taste good, but are not good for your body. You want to fall in love or get married? Well, guess what? Love and marriage are fucking hard work. You want to be great at either of those things, you have to pay the price. And the price is sacrifice and commitment and patience, and a shit ton of other character qualities that aren't always easy to express. You want to have kids? Great. Kids are fucking awesome, and they are expensive. Are they worth it? Hell yeah, they are. But take it from me, you pay a very high price to raise kids, even when they don't total your car or decide to go to an Ivy League university. But as usual, I want to talk specifically to entrepreneurs. And I want to remind you that in my podcast, I try not to tell you this is what you should do. I try to say, this is what I did. And this is what I did. When I was a doctor working in the California prison system, I knew I wanted to do something bigger. At the time, I had been listening to the podcast called the MFCEO Project. And the host announced that he had partnered with another multi-millionaire. And they were together going to start a mastermind for entrepreneurs who wanted to maximize their personal performance, scale their business to 7 figures or more, and become a force for good in the world. I had listened to the host's podcast and investigated his business success, and I was convinced he knew exactly what to teach me that could help me build a multi-million-dollar business, maybe even a billion-dollar business. I knew this group would be a game changer. So I applied. I didn't think I would get approved, quite honestly. I didn't have a business, but it turns out I did. I was ecstatic to get in. Then I saw the price, $50,000. For me, that was a holy shit moment. See, at the time, my wife and I had been living very frugally and had saved $100,000. And now I was thinking of spending half of our life savings on a mastermind. I didn't even know what a mastermind was. So I went to Stephanie and I told her all about it. And she said, you know, Alex, you never really spend money on yourself. You don't buy any nice things. I trust you. If you want to spend this money, do it. Then she said something that Spider-Man's girlfriend, Mary Jane, often said to him when he was called to go out and save the world. Go get him, Tiger. Here's the thing. Even with Stephanie's blessing, I was still like, holy shit, this is a lot of money. But I knew what I was spending all that money on was worthwhile. I knew that the investment was going to get a return. And ultimately, I knew that there is nothing in this world, in life or business, that is valuable and amazing that doesn't come with a big price to pay. So I pulled the trigger. And let me tell you, the rest is history. I paid the high price and joined the mastermind, the Arete Syndicate. I learned amazing things about culture, standard operating procedures, leadership, marketing, and more. I became friends with high-level people and significantly improved my peer group. I met Brent, who would become my business partner in Genesis and multiple other companies. I executed to the letter everything that they taught me. I still do it to this day. And now, well, I have multiple companies that generate 7 and 8 figures, 2 companies that are 9-figure companies. So let me say this very clearly. There may be a big price to something, but big price often leads to big payoff. That is not to say that you should just spend a ton of money for the sake of spending it. It doesn't mean throw yourself into something you haven't really thought through. But what it does mean is that you shouldn't be afraid to pay a big price. In fact, if you think things through, if you evaluate the opportunity, if you can reasonably say that all signs point to it being a worthwhile investment, and this is important, if you resolve that once you pay the price, you are going to keep paying the price by working hard, by learning more and more each day, by establishing strategic partnerships, and by refusing to give up, well, then not only should you not be afraid to spend the big money, not only should you not be afraid to pay the big price, but you should be excited to do it.